There are moments when reflection brings honesty. This family member may now recognize that their words or actions were heavier than they should have been. What once felt justified now feels excessive. Time creates space for understanding. They begin to see your perspective. They begin to understand the impact. This kind of realization is not always expressed loudly. There is a family member who has begun to see things clearly, not through emotions, but through reflection. They recognize now that they were hard on you, not in a way that strengthened you, but in a way that strained you. They placed expectations on you that were not rooted in understanding. They expected perfection, precision, performance without error. And in doing so, they forgot something essential. You were human. You had limits. You had emotions. You had a process. But instead of seeing that, they saw potential that they wanted to shape into something they could present. Not nurture, but control. And over time, that pressure created distance. Because what was given to you was not guidance. It was weight. A constant demand to be more, to do more, to never fall short. And eventually, you stepped away. Not out of rebellion, but out of preservation. Because you realized something important. Peace cannot exist where pressure is constant. As it is written in Colossians chapter 3, verse 21. Fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they become discouraged. There is a point where correction turns into discouragement. And when that line is crossed repeatedly, the distance becomes necessary. You gave chances. You waited. You hoped. You believed that with time, things might soften. But the pattern remained. The expectations stayed high. The grace stayed low. And so you made a decision to protect your peace, to guard your progress, to step away from what consistently unsettled you. Not because you lack forgiveness, but because you have gained wisdom. And now they see it. They recognize the imbalance. They acknowledge the pressure. They admit that they were too harsh on you. But realization does not erase impact. It does not undo the strain. It does not immediately restore what was worn down over time. And you understand that. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 3 reminds us, a prudent person foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. You are no longer placing yourself in situations that you already understand. You are not testing your peace to see if things have changed. You are honoring what you have learned because growth has brought you to a place where your environment matters. Your energy matters. Your stability matters. And even one interaction can shift what you have worked hard to build. So you choose carefully, not out of resentment, but out of alignment. I'd like to end this message with a parable. A young plant once grew beneath constant, harsh wind. Each day it was pushed, bent, and forced to endure more than it could handle. The one who tended it believed that the pressure would make it stronger, but instead it weakened the roots. One day, the plant was moved to calmer ground. There it began to recover. Its roots deepened. Its leaves steadied. And years later, the one who once tended it returned and saw the difference. Only then did they realize what they thought was strength had been strain. The lesson: not all pressure produces growth. When expectations are placed without understanding or compassion, they can create distance instead of development. It is not wrong to step away from environments that consistently disrupt your peace. Forgiveness does not require continued exposure. And growth often requires separation from what once caused imbalance. You can acknowledge the realization without abandoning your boundaries. Because protecting your peace is not rejection, it is wisdom. And that's it for this message. I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end of the video. I'm truly honored by your support. If this message resonated with you at all, please consider dropping a comment, giving me some feedback, hitting the like button, and subscribing. It's been ChrisAnesti, and until next time, take care, and God bless you.